a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Carlos Watkins in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down. Keenum over the middle. Open is Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Keenum will try again on 2nd down. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 46. After the interception, here's Watson. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Let's go on attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On first down, it's Keenum. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Working from the gun, Keenum. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Watson, off play action. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 4 catches, 61 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 2nd down, Williams. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. And the first play will be a field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And McManus able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, Precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson caught left side, Hopkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Green the line! Green the line! Target!
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. That is the first time that they targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Well, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, maybe you think about the field goal there. But on 4th and 1, this is a way to tell your offense, hey, I believe in you. You can do this. And sure enough, they're going to pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, a 22. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
A shotgun snap for Watson. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Two minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And McManus able to put it through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now out comes Houston. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Come back, come back.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third down, here's Williams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, black 22.
Back to throw, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Watson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious effort. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Shifts by him. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy. and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now, 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run it again with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. His throw incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now it's Keenum. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 69 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
He's going to get it running right. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Again, it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3rd and long. It's Keenum. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Come back.
On 1st down, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got it at the 15. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 41 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. On the return is Henderson. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. SgyBtmBoy's, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the side and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Keenum now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Keenum throwing once more. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And McManus able to put it through, and they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The Texans on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 4, and it gets them the first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Gets past one man. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Darian Stewart there to bring him down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're